So I got a question from the community by Shamaka, and the question revolves around food and healthy eating with kiddos. If you have any kiddos in the household and they just simply do not want to eat healthy, I have some tips, tricks, and hacks that you might find useful if you haven't given them a try. Now, Shamaka specifically asked, one of the struggles was trying to find healthy carbs that her kids will actually eat. She said that when she prepares healthy foods, they'll just take a bite and then they won't actually eat it. So I'm not clear on their actual ages, but here are some tried and true suggestions that I make to my clients, and also that I've tried with my kid as well. So the first thing is giving them choices. Sometimes, if we think about it for yourself, right? If you're trying something new, you probably want to have some variation of it. So things like that is what I would mean is sweet potato, for example, right? Try baking the sweet potato. Try preparing the sweet potato like fries in an air fryer. Try sauteing it, with a protein or something like that they actually enjoy. Don't just give it just that one way and just kind of like give up. Continue to provide the same food, but prepare it in different ways. Another big tip that I have, and this one has really been helpful with me, is to bring kids in the actual preparation of the meal. My son, I always notice the more when he cooks and preps with me, he wants to try the food and he asks questions. He's 4 right now. But he asks questions in the process and we get to actually talk about food. So even as we're prepping food, he knows ahead of time, what it is that we're going to be having for lunch or a snack or dinner or whatever it is. And just having him to actually participate in it, I notice it opens up conversation to actually talk about the food. And then he goes, well, hey, can I try that? He always asks, like, can I try that? And he might hesitate a few times, even when we actually come up to the dinner table. So having them as much as possible, somebody, if you have one-on-one kids, somebody deals with the salad or somebody deals with that specific veggie. Also having them take some ownership in actually preparing the meal for those that are older makes a really big difference because they want to, make the family proud and also make you proud by saying, hey mom, look, I made this. Like, how do you actually enjoy it? That's another really big one. The third is, and I want to stress this one, is to don't force it. I'll bring myself into this. My mom was one of those moms, and probably yours was as well, that when there was something on the dinner table, like you couldn't leave, if you come from a Caribbean household, you can't leave the table if you didn't literally clean your plate, regardless of whatever it is that was there. And I can think back right now to many times of I would just sit, because I was very determined. I would just sit there and it was almost like a stalemate. Who is gonna break down first? Is it gonna be myself or is it gonna be her, of eating these last bit of veggies or whatever it is? And then what happened was that it made me not like certain veggies. To this day, cauliflower and lima beans. I've gotten over cauliflower, it's taken some time, but lima beans, to this day, I don't like it. And a lot of it comes back to these times where I would just be staring at lima beans and lima beans would be staring at me for hours on end because I was forced into the situation. So the biggest thing is literally not to force it. The other side of that I would suggest is also not to cave in, or don't reward them with something that's not healthy. So what I do with my son is that if he doesn't want to eat something, I say, okay, well, you can choose another healthy option. What would you like to have? And then sometimes it would be like, if it's dinner time and he's just like, oh, I'll do a banana or I'll do an apple, whatever it is. It's his choice to still make a healthy option. So the forcing and then giving them the decision of, okay, if you're not going to eat this, what other healthier option are you going to eat? This one might be a suggestion. This tip I'm about to say might be a suggestion if you are coming off of more of a processed diet and you're trying to make that transition more into healthier foods, is to do this. Literally just look for the exact same thing, but a healthier option of it. So say for example, if you typically would pick up some fast food from a drive-thru and do like burger and fries for lunch or whatever it is, still go ahead and get the, the pre-mixed bag of fries at home. Implement the other suggestions of what I said before. Everyone helps make that fry at home versus getting it through, kind of like a drive-thru. And then kind of like just downgrade it from there. So don't go straight from, hey, they're accustomed of eating fast food, to all of a sudden now you want them to just have a baked potato. Give them some time. Some kids don't like to have change and have change a little bit too quickly. So think about this as like a scale, right? So or a spectrum, and all you're doing is trying to go down one notch from where it is that they currently are. Don't be hard on yourself. As a mom, as parents, as caregivers, we're doing the absolute utmost best that we can. And even open up the conversation to say like, hey, you need to eat more healthy stuff. That's like, hey, big pat on the back for you. Even for me as a nutritionist and as a trainer, my son, we started off really, really well. And we're coming off of this bout where he's just really into this candy stage and this kind of like sweet stuff stage. And I had to look at myself in a little bit, because what I was doing, I was bringing the stuff into the house. So I had to have that discussion with my husband, make sure we're on the same page. Now we have treat days, and when we do certain things, we go out and we have treats, but we don't make sure that the treats actually live in the house. So then the secondary thing is what is actually being brought into the house. That's something that you can actually control. At some point, when kids get hungry enough, they'll eat anything. I hope that these suggestions were helpful for you. If you've tried any of them, or if you have any other suggestions that you did for yourself, or that somebody else did, trying to transition their kid into having a more healthy and more wholesome diet, I would love for you to comment down below for us to continue this conversation in the community and just sharing our wealth of knowledge with each other. I shall chat with you all in another video.